What an inspiring days. Those smiles say it all. The future really is female and fierce. Joining us in studio are two of this year's Miss SA finalists, Qhawekazi Mazaleni and Ghee-Ann Rademan, to tell us about the experience and what it means for them. We're also joined online by Dr. Precious Motsipe, patron and chairman of the Miss South Africa organization. Jen, I want to start with you. Welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate it. What does this competition mean to you as a platform to be able to continue to do the sort of work that you guys did with Letsibogo Senior Secondary School in Soweto, to be able to inspire young women to dream big about their futures?
Thank you so much for your question. I truly am a young leader in South Africa. I just graduated from university, and when I started my career, I am a mental health practitioner and I have an online practice for young girls and women in our country. I knew that I wanted to amplify my voice and I wanted to reach more women in our country, and through the Miss South Africa platform I get that opportunity, and to me that's very powerful, and that activates change in our nation.
Yeah. Qhawekazi, what did that day mean for you to be able to be there with the kids?
For me, I think it's something that I needed when I was in high school. Just somebody who actually pours into you and kind of shows you tangible steps as to how you can actually achieve your goals. So being there, hearing from the children what they want to do. Firstly, the girls in South Africa are extremely ambitious. And then also just being able to share how I was able to achieve everything that I've achieved. I think for me it was special in that sense.
Yeah, the day was about STEM. And science, technology, and mathematics being a career path for women to follow. We still have more male engineers, doctors, scientists in South Africa, the world over really, than we do women. How important was it, Qhawekazi, for you to be able to talk to young women to imagine themselves as doctors, scientists, and those who will solve future problems we may not have yet?
Exactly. So I think for me a big thing, like you said, there's very little representation for our young girls in those kinds of career fields. So us actually being there as people who are in those types of career fields, it almost gives them something to actually look to, for them to be able to say, actually, if she was able to do it, I'm also able to do it. And that's what it really comes down to for me. It's being able to use my story as a representation to tell another girl that, listen, it's also possible for you.
Jen, you decided to swap out the periodic table for Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I mean, they're both important parts of our existence. But how important was it for you to draw the link between what you do in mental health practice to future careers in STEM for young women?
So what I've learned through my career is that our power truly lies in the mind, and that when we strengthen the mind, we unlock our full potential. And for me, no matter what career path any girl has chosen to pursue, if she can strengthen her mind, she can achieve anything in life. So for me, it was very important to remind the girls of prioritizing their mental health, to strengthen their mind, because in that they can dream big and they can reach their full potential. I also touched up a little bit on neuroscience, and I spoke to them about their memory and how to really tune into creating that lasting memory when you are studying as a young person.
I hope you just denounced Freud.
We didn't get to that topic.
Well, you and I will get to that just now. Precious Motsipe, I want to bring you into the conversation here, Dr. Motsipe. You are a fashion icon, not just in South Africa, the world over, working with the AFI, of course, and partnering with the Miss South Africa pageant. How important is this partnership for you in getting young women to represent South Africa in the world of fashion, and being a platform for them to allow them to dream big and to take the world on?
Thank you very much for having me, and hello to our young leaders in your studio. I think for me, part of my work has been around empowerment of women and youth. And I do this through various channels where I'm involved, whether it's in business, where we transfer skills, we train young people, or at universities where we give bursaries for young people to study at various universities. In my role as Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, I see a lot of young people that go through universities through, during graduations, but also through my philanthropic work. My passion has been around women and youth. So my involvement and taking this on as a business case was to ensure that we can leverage the platform of Africa Fashion International, which is about creativity, promoting designers from South Africa and from the African continent, and also leveraging the Miss South Africa platform, which is it's a 60-year-old platform, still really very relevant this day, in that we are using it now in this new era to energize a movement of empowering young people in South Africa as well as on the African continent. So our movement, which will be led by the young leaders that you have in studio, including their colleagues, 9 other women, will ensure that whether it's mental health for young people, financial literacy for young people, or training and mentorship in entrepreneurship, we will be able to do.
Yeah.
We will measure ourselves at the end of the year on the impact that we create in our communities.
Now, you weren't there during the week with them when they visited the school, right? And focused on conversations and inspiring women to pursue careers in STEM. But I want you to imagine you were there. And I want you to imagine you were having a conversation not just with the finalists, but also with the children in Letsibogo Secondary School in Soweto about fashion related to STEM. Structural engineers have had to study why denim is such a durable material to be able to understand why buildings will have to last the way they do, and understanding the math and science behind it. Textiles, sciences, and material science is an incredibly complicated discipline, but you can't divorce it from fashion. There is no fashion without that. Right? Fashion and science sort of go hand in hand, not just as a creative exercise, but also as a functional exercise. What is the sort of messaging you would have told them about the pursuance of fashion in relation to STEM?
It's very interesting that you say that. So when we talk of STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, we also include the letter A. So it is STEAM as opposed to just STEM.
Certainly.
The arts is very, very important in that equation. So where creativity and science connect, particularly now in the era of technology, AI, we can only grow, skills and talents and opportunities for young people. Just imagine, and I would have said this to the young people, just imagine that you are an engineer, chemical engineer, in a laboratory, and you develop the lipsticks that the ladies use. That comes from an understanding of the chemicals in the products, and how you shape that and deliver it as a product that we all use. With the fashion industry, we are now looking at an era where we need to be environmentally friendly and use materials that do not pollute our environment. How do you use that knowledge and use 3D printing, for instance, or in agriculture, grow plants that will not use a lot of water? So there is a lot of careers that we are looking at, that we are channeling and helping young people to realize that STEM is not, when we say engineer, we're not talking about somebody who is a mechanic, as we know in the township. Structural engineers are so critically important. The studio you're sitting in was designed and helped to build by structural engineers. So these careers are careers of tomorrow, and they are critically important.
You look great at the Met Gala, by the way. Will the winner on Saturday be your +1 next year? If not, I'm available.
Thank you. That was only about taking African fashion to global platforms.
Yeah. I want to come back to you guys and move a little bit to contemporary conversations. And, a big part of the Miss South Africa pageant is that you guys are able to give visions for the future you'd like to imagine, not just for the world, but also, for the future of those who will follow in your footsteps. and typically there's like a 1 minute clock. What's it, 30 seconds, 60 seconds?
45.
45, my goodness. Wow, what an elevator pitch. So we're going to practice that now with you guys to see
Let's
just
go.
how good you are. I'll pose the question. It's going to be randomized. I want to see how practiced you are, because you don't know what the question will be, right?
goodness.
And I'd love to see how prepared you guys are for it. I mean, you probably would have practiced in the mirror quite a bit over the last couple of weeks since you've known that you were a finalist. Guys, I'm going to start with you. And yeah, I'm going to make it controversial.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
For both of you, very controversial.
Okay.
We've seen our democratic institutions being under attack, and we've seen young people divorcing themselves from participating in fixing these. We're not turning up to the polls, we're not voting as much as we're supposed to. Given your platform, should you win, how do you intend to turn that around?
So I think for me, addressing that actually starts with very open and honest conversations with our youth, and also getting input from our actual leaders, seeing what their vision is for the country, and also what the youth wants from our leaders. Because without actually having those conversations with one another, it's very difficult for us as the youth to feel as though we're being taken care of and that we have a solid foundation within this country. So I think for me, that's a big starting point, is having those open and honest conversations on a big platform like Miss South Africa.
You kept that in 45 seconds. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed.
Were you
Well
timing?
done.
Thank you.
I certainly was. I'm timing.
That's brilliant.
I was timing. You
Thank
kept
you.
that in 45 seconds. Really impressed. Yeah, also controversial. We've seen with the recent rise in right-wing politics the world over, and in America in particular, freedom of speech being under attack. We saw with the death of Charlie Kirk that people have been discouraged to express views in ways that perhaps aren't conducive to public discourse. Given your platform, how do you hope to safeguard freedom of speech?
Thank you so much for your question. I firmly believe that everyone has the right to voice their concerns, especially in a country such as South Africa. It's important that we speak up to the causes that are close to our hearts and that is truly affecting us. From my experience, I've really seen how we need to keep each other accountable. I think at the moment, especially young people, we have this idea of cancel culture, where the moment we say something wrong, we're completely excluded. But the truth is, when it comes to speaking about what we think and what we feel, it's important to keep each other accountable, and it's important to listen to what the other person is saying. I think having open conversations, keeping each other aware about the things that are really affecting us and touching our lives, it's important.
Well, that was just over 45 seconds, so you're going to have to cut that down. Dr. Motsepe, how would you adjudicate those answers? I mean, they're practicing for Saturday night. You're going to be there. If you were filling out your scorecard right now, what would those scores be?
Those are my children. All 10 of them. I do not judge. I let South Africa judge. And to that, I'd like to invite you and everybody in studio, all South Africans, get your tickets. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be the most inspiring Miss South Africa ever, with this new era that we are pursuing.
Many South Africans say we've got so many issues. Why should we still care about beauty pageants? They still think of the platform as primarily and exclusively a beauty pageant. We have a minute left. Why should we still care about it?
Many young girls, particularly in townships, in rural communities, do not have the opportunities that we have. We do need to have mentorship programs that these young ladies in studio can provide. The Miss South Africa platform connects with those young people and shows them what is possible. Through this Empower Youth Africa program, that movement that we are starting, we want to see change, and it is lasting change that is going to create economic empowerment for women and youth.
Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Motsepe, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your work and your partnership with the organization. Really do appreciate it. Ladies, all the best. Thank you for coming into the studio. And I hope you've practiced your cry. Should you win or lose, it shouldn't be an ugly cry. That comes Saturday night. But all the best.